Hi again, Doug here from X-Frames FPV, and today I've got a little bit different video. You know, it's not one I do a lot of build-up videos, two I do some repair videos. Well, it's neither of those. So what it is more of a customer wants more power video, and that's what we're going to do for him. And how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to take out the power system. The system that this has for flight control is the Naza Lite, which has GPS, and we've got the OSD from DJI, and all of that is in here, and that's a great system. Well, the problem is the customer bought this off of what the website said it would do. The website said on 3S it's fast, and on 4S it's really fast. Well, it's neither, from what the customer says, and I believe him because he's got a Phantom, and he said it's basically about the same speed as a Phantom, and that's what I would expect. A Phantom runs, Phantom 3 runs on 4S power, and that's what this runs on 4S power. And so, you know, these motors are only, let's take a look here, 2212, great. That's about the right size motor for this frame. But 980 kV, in my opinion, is too low for only 4S if you're trying to get some power out of it. If you want to get some power out of it, you would have needed to go with a 5S or 6S voltage. And they're running these are only capable, these Storm 15 amp are only capable of 4S, 3 and 4S LiPo. Now, the amperage, you know, you think, oh my goodness, 22212 motor on 15 amps. Well, since it's only doing 980 kV, that amperage is just fine. But we really needed to utilize the power that these 2212s could do at 980 kV. Swinging an 8-inch prop, you know, you're swinging it pretty slow at 980 kV. Well, you really need a 5 or a 6S voltage to really get what these motors can provide. And so we could have just switched out the ESCs, but not knowing any history of these motors, not knowing what the Storm 2212 motor can do, what we decided is just let's pull out the complete power system. And again, I apologize, I already started doing some work on it, but it makes it okay. Then we can kind of have a visual of what we're going to do. We're going to put in some motors. Now, they're not any bigger. Matter of fact, they're a little bit shorter than what was on here, but these are built more for the race industry. These are the T-Motor F80s, okay? And what we did is we got these in a 1900 kV. Now, I wished I would have loved to have had like a 1700 kV maybe. Might have been even more suited for this build, but I really wanted some motors that had, the ability to produce some raw power. And these have a wider stator, 23 millimeter stator, but they're only a 8 millimeter high stator as opposed to a 12 millimeter high stator on the other motor. So you can see these are smaller, but what we're going to be doing is we're running higher kV. We're going to bump the LiPo up to either a 5 or a 6S, and we're going to run a 7-inch prop. So these will be spinning a lot faster, and the 7-inch prop, I think he's going to be happy on 5S. You know, we're going to set it up where he can run 6S, but I think the sweet spot for him is going to be 5S because it's going to give him plenty of power. We're going to be spinning that 7-inch prop really fast, and so I think it's going to give him what he needs. This Naza Lite system, you know, it has full GPS, everything. And, you know, the arms, let's get a reading on the arms. You know, again, this is not going to be a racer, so, you know, us as racers, let's measure it before I make an excuse here, right? Okay, these are right at 3 millimeter. As racers, you would say, oh my gosh, that's not big enough, and it's not really, because as racers, we run 3 millimeter to 4 millimeter on a 5-inch setup. And we're running 7-inch here, but again, this is not made, he's not going to be, FPV racing anybody. We've got a Naza Lite, again, system in there, so that's a little bit more slow to respond. But what he wants is something that he can, pitch it forward and he can get some forward speed with it. So not something that he can kind of carve the canyons with. So this, I think this will be adequate. I would have, if I was speccing this out, I would spec for some bigger arms, but I think this is going to be adequate for what he's doing. Steel feels fairly stiff. It's good carbon fiber. There's not a lot of cutouts. So I think ultimately it's going to be happy on 5S. I think with these motors and 30 amp ESC, DYS ESCs that are capable of up to 6S, I think it's going to be a really fun flyer for him. And that's really what it's for. It's not made for aerial photography. It's not for racing the canyons. It's just for something he can go out and kind of have some fun for. So stay tuned. I expect to have this done within the next few days. I'm meeting a gentleman. Today is Saturday, and I think on Thursday it looks like it's going to be the best day, and he's going to do he does recording for like sound effects and that kind of thing and audio recording for different movies. And so we're going to take some fun stuff out there for him to record, and this should be one of them. I want to get it done for him so that he can have some fun listening to and getting some recording of 7-inch prop. It really does make a wonderful sound in the air. So that's about it. Stay tuned, guys. I'll have a video hopefully of some flight footage of this thing flying, and you can guys get an idea of what it does. Check out my website, xframesfpv.com, and there you can get an idea of some of the other builds that I've done. Like and subscribe. If you want to get notifications on when I post videos, click next to the subscribe button, and there's a little bell. Click on that. Again, I appreciate you guys so very much, and I hope you have some time to fly.